Good morning, book lovers. It's Leanne. Today we're going to talk about Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. And you can find the links to both of my reviews of Siege and Storm and Shadow and Bone. And if you've read those two, you know that you will just immediately want to pick up Ruin and Rising. It's that good. And so because of that, I'm not going to do my normal review of the first chapter and the before because it gives away way too much of what happened. And I want you guys to have the full experience and not have any spoilers for you guys. But this was a really hard book for me because it was just so good. And I am at a loss for words. I know it's really hard, but it really was. It was hard for me to write this review because I just loved it so much. And I didn't think that anything that I could say can truly express how much I really enjoyed her writing style. And I got this random package in the mail. I have no idea who it's from. I looked at the returning address. I didn't even remember buying a book, so we're just gonna experience this together because I have no idea what this is. One thing that I really enjoyed is that you just learn so much. She went above and beyond what normal writers go for, and she put so much heart into this book. For example, her before and after, which is basically the prologue and the epilogue, is in third person. And it just shows how much skill she has as well, because I read Siege and Storm a while ago when I was trying to do a try chapter tag, which you can find a link to that right now if you don't want to watch this video. It was just really imaginative and it got you really, I always say hooked, but it's true because it gets you hooked really fast. And I read Siege and Storm, I just read the before or the prologue, and it talked about these stars, and she goes into crazy more detail about these stars in this book. And I love stars. We're gonna go to Hawaii this year in 2016, and I want to introduce Tanner to my whole family. And Hawaii is where I was able to see my stars, and she said it in such a detailed and intense way that for me it brought so many just strong emotions, because I'm just like, it was just so, yeah. And I mean, that whole thing just sums up how I feel about this book. It took me so long to read this book because I didn't want it to end. I really didn't. And you probably will feel the same way when you read it. I'm so thankful that I was able to, find this book from BookTube and read it because I just love it. And I'm reading Six of Crows, and again I'm just like, oh my gosh, is she just a miracle worker or what? I mean, that's gonna be one of my goals this next year, is I'm either gonna get in conversation or I'm just gonna wanna get an interview. I'm gonna meet her because I just really enjoy her. And another thing that I liked is that her acknowledgements. Do you guys read the acknowledgements at the end of the book? I do every time. And hers are my favorite. She has a team that worked with her and she thanks them so profusely, and I really enjoyed that. Like, when you show gratitude, that just shows how much of just a good heart that you have. If you have this book, I highly recommend you read the acknowledgements because they're funny, they're so genuine, and they're just amazing. Another thing is it's incredibly action-packed. And action-packed in the sense that every single chapter had a cliffhanger. Can you believe it? I mean, it was driving me crazy the whole time. It was like everything, just so many things happened. But she still had comedic humor just to kind of break that little bit of tension or whatever. And I love that. Let me just sum it up. You got humor, you got gory, you got action-packed, and you got romance all in one book. I mean, if you aren't a book lover, like we are, I feel like someone could definitely start loving a book just by reading her books. So if somebody doesn't like to read, I recommend reading these books because you get every single element of what a book should be. Another thing that I really like is that every conversation, every response that the people have between each other is like the most ideal and clever thing to say. So you're just enjoying it so much because you're like, wow, that is so funny, yet it just has these playful banters that go on between these characters. My last and final point is that if you didn't read the first and second book, you should, because they're magnificent, but she has it in a way that you'll be okay. You won't feel in the dark, and I just really enjoyed that. Another thing about that is that you get the whole entire map this time. You get the whole map, which is very similar to Siege and Storm's map, and then you also get the Grisha, the Master of the Small Science. You kind of get that aspect as well, which is really cool. And then you get the before, which is also super. This kind of was like the ending of the Grisha trilogy for me, and I just thought I'd put a little bit more work into my hairstyle today. So my hairstyle, I put it's like a sweatband, and then I wrap my bangs in there, and then I also did like a messy fishtail with a braid at the end. And I like messy stuff because my hair is always curly, so it's gonna be messy regardless, so why not make a mess organized, right? So I dedicate so much of my love for books to her, and I'm really excited to meet her. All right, so let's get to this unboxing of this mysterious package. Oh, what? I did get a book. Oh my goodness gracious, I got a book. That is so exciting. I've always seen people get books. So this is the Mythical series by Michael Weekly, and wow, I'm very honored to get this book. So thank you so much, Michael Weekly, for sending me this book. I will definitely read it and give you an unbiased review of it. I'm so excited. I mean, this is my first book that I didn't buy that someone wanted me to review, so that's pretty exciting. I'll have a link to his Twitter down below, and I'll have a link to everything that you need to know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about Ruin and Rising in the comments below, and also you can find my favorite video right here. And then they're doing Vlogmas right now, so this is my favorite video, Vlogmas. It's so funny, and I'm really excited for you guys to watch it. Appreciate your time, and thank you. And oh geez, I think I've said thank you like a million times. If you guys have counted how many times I've said thank you, put it in the comments below. Enjoy every moment. Leigh Bardugo, personal message to you. Thank you so much for writing these book series. I mean, you can really tell how much heart you put into this, and you put your imagination out there, and you just, thank you. Thank you so much. I could just flood you with thanks. I'm really excited to meet you, and I'm really thankful that you wrote these. So thank you so much again.